Hi, I'm Mueller-Kaul, and you know me as the lead educator of Balance Education, but I'm also a certified advanced Rolfer. And when I'm teaching live classes to massage therapists, I really like to educate about what Rolfing actually is. So here's how I usually describe it. Rolfing is a system of body work with a lot of hands-on techniques, but also education for posture and movement. The overall goal of a series of Rolfing sessions is that the client permanently changes how they interact with gravity. So what they're learning is to use the force of gravity as something to support their body in comfortable, effortless grace and without having to fight against it like we're often used to. Now, you might know about movement education systems that also accomplish this integration within gravity, that accomplish effortless grace in movements. You know about Alexander technique or Feldenkrais, and those are wonderful. But in my opinion, what really sets Rolfing apart is the hands-on body work that gives the person so much sensory information and frees up mobility so that it's a lot easier to learn new patterns of being within gravity, being in motion. And what you find after a series of treatments, which to me is the most amazing thing, is that all this awareness leads people to actually use their body in a more efficient way. So they, with every step they're taking, every time they move a part of their body, they keep reinforcing better integration. And since the body adapts to how it's being used, their body keeps improving even after finishing a series of treatments without any further treatment. So Rolfing really shows permanent results, but then also more improvement later on. That's why one of my teachers, Valerie Berg, likes to say that Rolfing is anti-aging technology. Now, there's often a misconception from people who have heard a little bit about Rolfing, and that's that idea that it's a particular massage technique. That is just not true. Rolfers might work with a lot of different techniques that also massage therapists work with, or some of the osteopaths that do manual therapy might work with techniques, and some of those might look exactly the same like what a Rolfer is doing. The difference is that Rolfing is a whole system. You could say being a certified Rolfer means you have a whole profession. So it's not about applying techniques. I can show a technique to people all the time, and I can train them really well in this one technique, but they don't really know how to approach a client in order to work with a specific problem or in order to design a whole process of sessions in order to really consecutively work with that person and find out exactly which techniques to use at what point in the series. Within the part of each session that is the hands-on body work, the Rolfer uses techniques that feel slow and should feel like deep work based on a comfort level of the client. And these are done in a system of usually 10 sessions, so that every session consecutively works on the results of the previous one. So this 10 series, as we call it, is not a prescribed formula. During the work, the Rolfer adapts both the body work and the movement education to the progress and the needs of the client. Usually every session starts with a short conversation and a bit of movement evaluation. And then the Rolfer will explain the plan for this session. And that plan depends a little bit on just the original plan of the 10 series, what's the theme, what is the topic of the session, what are the functional goals, but then also what the client brings in. What kind of feedback does the client have about some things that really worked well in previous sessions that might have given some relief from symptoms that the client was suffering from? And also, what has the client learned about how they were moving through the world and how their body feels after each session and then within just the usual pressures of daily life? So the Rolfer adapts to all that feedback, but also, of course, consults their notes, what they had written down before in their planning of the whole series. The hands-on body work in each session is done in different positions on the table. So the client might be lying on the side or lying face down or lying face up, but also sitting and in some cases even standing. The Rolfer might ask the client to get up from the table during the session just in order to test out how their body is feeling now and to build awareness and better proprioception. So it becomes pretty clear why I say this is a whole profession, right? So this takes a lot of study, and particularly what we call body reading is usually very hard to learn, and that takes up a lot of the training that Rolfers have to go through in order to become certified with the Rolf Institute. You see in almost every session that the client is asked to walk, usually even in the beginning of the session and at the end of the session. And like I said, sometimes right in between, just in order to test out how the body is feeling after one specific intervention. Now, because of the interactive nature of these treatments and because clients are often asked to move around, they wear clothes. It's not like they're draped with sheets like in a massage session. And typically, the tradition is just underwear and bra. But nowadays, more often, people might be wearing athletic clothes or swimsuits, whatever they're really comfortable being seen with. Now, for me, I always ask my clients what they feel comfortable with. I like to work on the skin because I feel the tissues better that way, but that is really just my comfort level. So for me, the most important part is that the client feels comfortable, and we have to rely on our clients to give us very clear feedback. In general, it's really important that clients are giving clear feedback about how comfortable they're feeling. That also applies to while they're getting the hands-on work, because we can't really achieve good results when somebody is within fear and anxiety or severe pain. So no pain, no gain doesn't really apply to Rolfing even though you might have heard that it hurts. So even though in different professions you hear people speak about alignment, Rolfing structural integration is seen as a separate profession if you compare to physical therapists or chiropractors or osteopaths or massage therapists. So even though in Germany I'm licensed as a naturopathic physician, in Florida I'm licensed as a massage therapist, in most states of the US that is the requirement in order to do hands-on work on the body. There is a lot of great information about this profession on the website of the Rolf Institute. The Rolf Institute of Structural Integration is the only institution that can certify Rolfers, and they have a huge library of different videos and really good explanations about what Rolfers are doing and how this education is being done. You can just go to www.rolf.org in order to find out more. Now, you might want to know how this actually looks in practice. And we did film a whole 10 series done by Arthur Gillespie at Balance Orlando. And you can watch some of those videos. You can click your way around. We have a whole playlist that guides one client through a 10 series. So if you're curious now, just follow this link.